I'm Austin Choi-Fitzpatrick, and I free slaves through pointing out the ways that communities can mobilize and empower themselves to emancipate themselves in the face of some of the worst forms of human rights violations known to humanity. I'm a scholar of this issue, but when I think back to when I first discovered that slavery still exists, and I remember this moment when I realized that this was something that impacted the lives of millions and millions of people, not like dozens, and not like some people somewhere, but like real people by the millions all over the world. I was struck by the enormity of the situation, by a sense that like something had to be done, and a commitment or a calling that I should be part of that set of solutions. But I think it's time we ask ourselves a broader set of questions, like why does this happen over and over? Why are we 200 years into a series of movements and we're still tackling these issues? I think the answers are very complicated, but we can't come to real, clear, whole answers without also considering perpetrators. We've got to go out and talk to the bad guys. Turns out when you go and talk to the bad guys, they're men, sometimes they're women, sometimes they're nearly as impoverished and desperate as the people they exploit, sometimes they're middle class. It's not to excuse their criminal behavior, because without any doubt, they're criminals. And without any doubt, they deserve justice. But the question is, what happens when we recognize that slavery is a relationship between people embedded in community? Emancipation looks complicated. It looks possible, but it's complicated. This is why I decided to write this book, What Slaveholders Think. That's why I went to India and I spent months and months interviewing hundreds and hundreds of people, perpetrators, their victims, community members, local activists, about both slavery and emancipation, and wove these things together into a new view of slavery from perpetrators' perspectives, to shed new light on the totality of the slavery relationship between people in community. And hopefully it begins to give us better tools for understanding emancipation and how we can help communities come out of slavery together. You know, I give to Free the Slaves, and I think others should, because it's an organization that addresses the problem as it actually is. Not as we wish it were, some sort of situation that's easy to address. You run in, you save somebody, you get them back out, and your job's done. Because Free the Slaves recognizes that slavery is complicated, emancipation is complicated, because it's fundamentally a human relationship between a perpetrator, a victim, and it's embedded in community. So the question is not just how can we address the needs of this one person right now, but how can we get involved in a process of exploitation such that it ends, not for the next 20 minutes for the next 5 people, but for good, for entire communities and into the future.